All right. Today was bench day, and it was a pretty good bench day. Went bar 135, 185, 205. 205 is the top working set. We did 5 sets of three with say 2 second pause at the top, and then afterwards we moved on to military press, dumbbell tricep extensions, um, and some lateral raises. And the reason I did it in that order is because I want to get as much, um, it's not use out of it, but like I want to uh, like strain my body as much as possible using the compound movement first. And then the way I normally do it is the day that I'm benching. So let's just say like on that day, I'm failing a lot more at the bottom portion of the pressing movement, or I'm failing more at the top portion. If I'm failing more at the top portion of that day, I'm just going to be primarily hitting triceps. If I'm failing more at the bottom portion, then I'm going to start. I'm going to follow up with shoulders and chest. Um, Today it was a pretty even day. So after I had finished with the bench, then I did military press. After military press, tricep extensions. So there wasn't a specific thing that I was like mentally trying to focus on. That could be like the wrong way to think about it, but it's honestly probably the best way that helps me, um, is actively pursuing what's weak on that day. Not saying it's going to be like recovered or stronger by the next time, and maybe for a whole month, every single bench day, I'm focused on my chest getting better. But at some point, it will kind of meet up with the other muscles as far as like strength, and then maybe next month it's triceps that are failing, or maybe after that shoulders. um, I will say for this bench session today, I had a pretty narrow grip, maybe like pretty straight out. Yeah, like right outside the shoulders, which it's not a narrow grip for bench press, but it's a narrow grip for powerlifting. And that's mainly just because I'm worried about putting a lot of strain on my chest. Um, throughout this workout, I had a lot more tension in my tricep and elbow, which is okay. It wasn't like a painful tension. You can just kind of feel it though. So hopefully I can start widening my grip with time. But that's also one of those things where like once I do start widening my grip, if I've gone up in weight on my bench press since, so I did 205 today, but if like I'm maintaining that same grip for like the next month or so, when I decide to widen out, I'm gonna have to go back down to like 205 or even 200, because I don't want to re-injure myself and I don't want to put too much strain on my chest out of nowhere. um, yeah, I did put a short up. I hope people comment on it to help me with my pressing motion. It looks like I have a crazy arch. I don't. I just have a really big belly because I'm a chunky old boy. I like to eat. Um, I'd say my bench is pretty good. I need to educate myself more on what compound movements I could do that will assist in that, because I've always like the person that uh, I follow the most as far as like how you should stack your table, or as far as how you should go about your workout for powerlifting, is Russell Orhee. Um, and the way he does it is he'll warm up, he'll do his compound lift first, so squat, bench, dead. Um, After that, though, he typically only has maybe like at most three accessory movements. Um, so, if he's doing deadlift, that would be the equivalent of his back day. And he'll do dumbbell rows, another really heavy kind of like compound movement, but it's primarily isolating your lat or back, sometimes your bicep, but or on his bench day he'll do dumbbell shoulder press, and that's kind of just how I've been doing it. Is compound first, accessories after. I don't have any benefit from hitting my accessories first, other than maybe warming them up. But you could do that with like a 5 pound plate before you start doing your compound lift, or you could just mentally process and think about your muscles engaging during the lift. That's another thing I've been doing. Is kind of like with the lighter warm up weight, specifically like the 135. I'm mentally focused on like the contraction at my chest. Like I'm thinking about it squeezing, and at the bottom I'm thinking about my triceps and shoulders doing all the work, which is backwards as far as like where the activation should be. But again, I'm only doing that because I'm worried about injuring myself again. Um, at some point, I'm sure I'll get over that injury, but probably not anytime crazy soon. Uh, hmm, yeah. I also know that as far as bracing myself on the bench, I don't have great foot placement. I am driving my feet underneath my hips, but I don't have a lot of hip drive. And I think that's either the shoes I'm wearing, maybe I don't have enough contact with the floor, or maybe I just have bad positioning. Hopefully, those things can improve over time. Again, today I also had just my protein shake and those amazing gas station burritos. I, they're not good. They don't like, I've had them like probably 20 days in a row now. They don't get better. Um, but they don't taste terrible. They're just like, I'm just getting tired of it. They do have other flavors that are also 20 grams of protein, so maybe I'll mix it up if I get too bored of it. Um, 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 I think the only thing that may be limiting me back is probably my diet. I am getting in, I am always a minimum of half the grams of protein per pound of body weight. And right now, like, you know, a lot of people get that mixed up too, I think, because it's not half a gram or it's not a gram per pound of body weight. It's a gram to 1.2 grams of per pound of lean mass or, your muscle mass. And that would put me at, I think, like, lean, like I got abs, I look shredded, I got veins and stuff. I'd probably be like 165. I'm not that. I'm 220. So I don't eat, a gram or 1.2 grams. I'm eating on average, I'd say, let's see, 20, 20, 25. That's an easy 65 grams. And then, goodness, oh my gosh. The rest is just I eat on average between 2 or 3 meals uh, at the galley provided. Whoa, shaking the laptop. Um, at the galley provided, which can, I'd say it covers probably about like 45 grams of protein between those 3 meals. I always try and grab, if they have chicken or beef, I always try and grab the beef because it's higher in, your essential minerals. And I always get at least 2 sides of the vegetables to keep my fiber up. Um, Chicken's great and all, and like the days that I do eat chicken, it's pretty all right and it's beneficial because it's higher in protein. Um, but it just doesn't, like if I can only get a certain amount of essential um, vitamins and minerals and all those things, I should probably go with the red meat. Um, don't eat the pork ever. That's like the worst idea ever. Yeah, here. We're going to do a quick doodle though of kind of where my placement is, at least where I think it is. Um, I think this is kind of what I look like when I'm benching. Um, and yeah, all right, there we go. Um, I would say for how I bench, I definitely go all the way down to my chest, and I definitely have a deep range of motion compared to most powerlifters. There is an arch, but I don't want it to be this exaggerated, um, unless I'm like definitely fully competing. I think this is pretty good though. And then again, like I was talking about, my biggest issue right now is right here. I don't think I'm engaging as much leg drive as I could be. Um, and that's like just, it's like free weight on the table. That's like a lot. That could be 20 pounds, like, in a crazy world, I guess. For me, it's probably about 20 pounds because, I'm not good at it yet. We'll see. I might make some good progress. I also think headspace is pretty important. Um, I think I could probably bench more than my current one rep max if I'm not so worried about my chest, or I'm not so worried about, do I drink enough water? Do I feel comfortable, hydrated? Um, Also, like life stressors, or if they're involved in the moment, I think I could do better. I'm I'm just gonna throw this out there. I think confidently right now I could definitely do 245 for one, and it'd be a dogfight. Competitively, I think I can only do like 235, and that's mainly just because that pause on the bench, or not pause, but it's not touch and go at most comps, as far as I know. You kind of have to, you have to come all the way down, and then they say up, and or they give your up command. um, so I think I could probably do 235 for one. That's pretty close um, to our goal. Our goal, we only require another additional 80 pounds on bench. If I continue to lift smarter, I continue to lift smart, and I continue to be engaging the way my body needs to be, and building up on my accessories, and doing my best to either stay away from injuries, or at least in a state of like healthy recovery, more than 7 hours of sleep, or 7 to 9 hours of sleep, taking my magnesium, taking my creatine, staying hydrated, getting good amount of protein, then I think realistically, I could probably hit my goal, at least for the bench, within like 3 months. We're gonna see. Not everything's guaranteed, but I think that's kind of it. That's kind of all. If anyone does have advice, please let me know on the short. Because it's an actual visual representation of how I'm currently benching with the 205 for a pause. Um, and if anyone has anything to say at all about my current plan with the compound and accessories, or if there's someone that I should maybe give a watch, or if there's someone that I should maybe listen to, or at least, an article to read or something, uh, please let me know. I'm always willing to learn more to benefit myself. Um, yeah, I think that's it.